Hi there, I'm Qui-dam, your sincere expert in human in world. And today I wanna add some drama in your life. so, maybe you've noticed that at the end of each video of Arcane characters analysis, I ask you whether you feel the same as the hero, unsafe, unaccepted, or lonely and wanting to contact this world. And today I want to share my answer to one of these questions. Actually, the aim of this video for me is to stop hiding myself. And for you, it might be finding out why you have such fixation with this or that character, and what this fixation means, and what you can do with it if you want to. The alternative paths, I mean. Actually, I don't have something like plan or prepared speech, just, some points here that I'd like to raise up. That's all. But of course, I'll prepare later the introduction. Victor is triggering us because he is lonely, as we are inside. He's trying hard to contact the world by abandoning himself, but fails. His attempts remind us of our own scenarios. At first, we see the external parallels like intellectualization, relying on others rather than on ourselves, and not taking into account our needs, emotions, or body condition. But by turning our focus on the inner world, we soon find out that this pattern, his and ours, is quite simple yet hurtful. Once being left alone as a child, we've learned that we have no value. So we try to compensate for our loss by deeds in the outer world, but actually we just need solace to our lonely selves. So it will be rather emotional again, as most of my videos, I suppose. Be careful, I guess, and wish me good luck, because it's my first try being, how to say it, so being like that without any preparations. So, yeah, I was scared. I mean, yesterday, actually, I was thinking about this video for maybe a week, and I tried to create speech for it for a week, but something inside me stopped me from doing it, and that was the fear. And yesterday I realized it. I was and am afraid to actually share this. Not to share, but to get your reaction that you don't need it. You were looking for analysis or something useful, but not my emotions, my path behind this analysis, and me. And the worst scenario in my head is that you just leave my channel because I have no value by just being me. Maybe you're familiar with this feeling. I think you do, if you like Viktor, because, well, he actually has the same tendency. I mean, I have no value. My body is an object to study and to operate on, and my emotions are worthless, and I don't need to take them into account. I just need to present some value, to make something, to achieve something for the society. Well, in his case, it's the society questions. In my case, it's you. The same practically. Yes. So, actually, this deep, not just fear, but the whole path, the whole scenario, as I will soon show you, was the reason why it was so hard for me to create the previous video, I mean the analysis of Viktor, because, well, I can no longer ignore myself when I'm looking at someone, something, investigating something. I just see these patterns that are the same as I have, and I go deeper inside me, and only after working with them I can present something called analysis of a character. So it was really hard. At first, actually, when the first season came, I didn't pay much attention to Viktor and his story. I was not touched at all and have no interest, really, no. I even, well, okay, no interest. But when this season 2 came, I suspect that something might interest me.
You need not suffer anymore.
And that's why I even planned this analysis of him. And after the third act, I was like, wait, I think I have something in common. I saw some parallels, like, I have my cell theory, the theory of anything, and with its help and with the help of my book, I want to connect to this world and to make some friends and, well, just to connect with this world and maybe help, because my theory is focused on mental health issues, I can say. And in the first place, it was an instrument for myself to help myself. And so Viktor has his score, or how can we say it, his powers to heal the people around him. And it is his way to connect to this world and to feel belong and have his own place in this world. And then I looked closer and noticed some small details, like he made lots of experiments on himself, on his body, and I did the same on, well, on my soul, let's say. That's experimenting a lot with dissociations, with going to trance, and doing the things that are not supposed to be ecological in psychology, I would say so. And even my therapist once said that, well, she was worried, and it was like, take good care of yourself, please, advice. But still, I did it. And then looking deeper, I found out that he's actually really lonely. He has a really great distance between him and the world, even when he's helping others, when he's building up his community. There's always a distance, and there is only actually one person he's communicating with more sincerely than with the other world. And I also had such a story. You see, my therapist was the first person, I would say, I was able to open up myself to. Though it was really hard, as I can evaluate now. And it was, well, it started with the same big distance as Viktor actually has with Jace.
You must go, Jace.
I was intellectual. I don't like this word. Intellectualization. Okay, I was rationalizing a lot. I was thinking about the reasons, the causes, the whole picture, making lots of analysis and presenting it, but there were rare moments when I was in the process, in the feeling, and I just, well, was open. But eventually it happened, and step by step I was able to open up myself to her. But still, my tendency was, I am on my own. I know which instruments I have to create a more or less comfortable communication with others. But I have a distance in myself, and between the world and myself. But I have a person to link myself with this world, and I actually wanted really deeply to get this person and to be her and my only link with this world.
I would have shown you the merits of my work. Our work.
Let me say, it's a good surviving strategy. But it can help for a short period of time. So it's like having a stick while walking on your two legs, but not feeling your legs. And that's what Jace is actually for Viktor, a stick to walk in this world. Work firmly, I would say. And well, when my therapy ended, when I end my therapy, I try to be really persuasive to convince her to become more than just a therapist for me. But I got a really strict no. And that's when I found out that I didn't end my therapy properly. Yeah, because I suddenly lost my stick when I was not believing that I work firmly. And I actually didn't end my scenario. Yes. And that's why it was a really hurtful situation. And the same was with Viktor when Chase said,
My partner died in this room.
that's what made him go deeper inside him and feel lonely. And not actually made. It just showed him that he was this whole time lonely. And Jace was just this link that he didn't create himself with this world. And understanding this mechanism, I mean that there is a link with this world, and when you separate yourself from this link, you don't have any connection with this world, and you're actually lonely again, and you just were lonely the whole time. So understanding this whole situation made me really sick, because it was about me again, I suppose. I decided to go deeper down myself before writing the next part of the speech for the Viktor's analysis video. And well, it was hard again. Yeah. I discovered that actually I repeated this scenario again, and I had it. My childhood. Well, all problems came from a childhood, whether you like it or not. I don't. It was time when I was lonely. You see, my parents worked in the embassies in different countries, and it happened that when I was five, we moved to Mauritania. It's Africa. And we lived there for 4.5 years. And there were practically no people there on the territory of the embassy. My parents were working or taking care of my really just born brother, and there were no children at all. Well, there a girl then came, but we had a really big age gap, about 5 or 6 years. I don't remember exactly, but the thing was, well, she was not interested in befriending me because I was too small for her, and most of the time I spent on my own. And actually, until I started my therapy, the whole situation about the whole my evaluation of the situation there was just, well, okay, something happened, okay. But the more I discovered myself, the more I understood that it was not okay to be lonely at so young age, with no explanation, with no support, help, or just friends. To discover everything on your own and to suppress the feeling of not understanding why it is happening, feeling of fear that something is wrong and you can do nothing, and really deep anger that it is happening to you. Why? And maybe the most important, the final point the whole situation leads to is the question, do I even exist if the world is just not communicating with me, if I have no possibility to communicate with this world, physical possibility, there is just no one here. And I saw the same tendency in Viktor. He has the same limitation from the start. Just you like living in your world and like have no possibility at all to communicate with others, and well, if you don't have this contact, who you are then? And this circles of feeling angry for that little girl and feeling sad instead of this little girl actually made me really sad, frustrated, and well, really sick, and I couldn't write the speech for my analysis. That's why it took so much time. Until, one day I suddenly wrote the phrase. It was, he's choosing the same way again, being on his own alone, instead of trying to integrate himself into one. And that little phrase made me so happy, because I was thinking that I'm just repeating the same scenario. I mean, the same thing that I had in my childhood. Being alone, not communicating with the world, and could do nothing with it, just some lame attempts, and well, no results. I even don't have some stick like Viktor has. I don't have a Jace, because, well, my therapy ended and, well, other stuff happened, still I am alone. And that phrase changed everything, the whole point of view, because it was not the repeating of my scenario. I was not, yes, I was maybe alone, but my therapist was not stick to use. She was a person that helped me to learn how to communicate with myself, how to communicate with the world more openly. And it was, the therapy was not lame sharing of analysis. It was a process of going deep inside me, learning about my inner parts and integrating them into one. So now I can do something like going so deep in such a small amount of time and get the result. Wow, sounds really in a capitalistic way still. So it was not the repeating. It was really a new step. And you see, I am even smiling right now because that really made me happy and is making me happy now. And this new way to see this scenario, to see another way that Viktor has, like getting more dissociation, as I've shown you in the analysis video, and projecting a lot onto the society, onto the external world. It's not always about society, it's about external world and finding the answers in the external world. Another way is to find the answers in yourself and try to connect them. And that may really help. Yeah. So Viktor gave me a really hard time, and also he gave me a possibility to look another way, to see another perspective of my own history. Of my own story. And though he and me, we have different stories, in the core, in the structure, we are the same. We're really lonely inner children who didn't get a chance to connect to this world, to the outer world. But he's choosing to connect more with this world, while I'm choosing to connect to my inner child. And that's making it more whole, while here he's getting more dissociation because he's connecting not with his inner child part, but he's connecting with his another inner part, his scientist mask. Yes, and he's not linking these two inner ports and making the connection more thin or even disappear. That's why, well, that's the result of his actions.
All that remained were fields of dreamless solitude.
So, two ways, and you can choose any of them. I don't know what to say more. I think I'm done. Okay. Ah, no, there's one thing. Actually, thanks to him, I got the possibility to connect to you. And that was really amazing. Your comments are just the best. Thank you. Yes, now I'm done.